Hello everyone and welcome to Van Tech Corner. 2 weeks ago, I created a poll and asked what type of Xiaomi router I should purchase for the test and tutorial. And most of you have voted for the Xiaomi 4A gigabit edition. So I did go and purchase the router, but unfortunately, the router I got is the Xiaomi Router 4. The Chinese version, which was sold mainly in mainland China, and here is the router. So anyway, I got the router with me, and I'm going to make a tutorial for this device as well. So right now the router, the Xiaomi R4 is running 2.26.175. So in order to install OpenWRT on this Xiaomi Router 4, we can do it with 2 ways. One is using a firmware exploitation, and we can use a chip programmer. So since this tutorial is based on software, I'm going to use this OpenWRTInvasion. In order to use OpenWRTInvasion, we will need either a Linux machine, for example Ubuntu, or you will need to use Windows, but there will be a lot of work and you will need to install Docker and a lot of stuff to get it work. This program, this OpenWRTInvasion, can give you root access for Xiaomi 4A gigabit edition, the Xiaomi 4A normal version, Xiaomi 4, 4C and 3G, or Mi Wi-Fi 3C. So this is a very popular application that you should learn how to use it. So this is a brand new Ubuntu machine and I have yet to install Docker. Alright, and Git will install, but actually the process of installing Git will very easy. All you need to do is run sudo apt update and then sudo apt install git. Alright, let's follow the tutorials and install this OpenWRTInvasion. Okay, right now we don't have Docker, so we need to find a way to install Docker engine. Okay, Docker engine Ubuntu, and I think it's very easy. We just need to copy and paste. So uninstall this one. Alright, so we need to set up this repository. Just copy and paste all the single command. Alright, alright, it doesn't work. Let's give a try. Alright, so we are going to install the CA certificates, URLs, and some other library. So let's copy them, right click to paste and hit enter. Yes. And now to add the Docker GPGK to our window. Alright, so now let's use this command to continue. And finally, let's run these 2 commands to install Docker engine. Hit install. And then let's copy this one. Now Docker has been successfully installed and we can check the Docker with docker-v, and yes, we have the versions. Okay, so let's go back to OpenWRTInvasion, copy this command, right click to paste and hit enter. Alright, so it say command not found. Okay, so we have wrongly copied the command, so let's do it again. Copy this one only, right click to paste and hit enter. So with this command, we're going to clone this repository and then we're going to build the containers. Alright, so we have error message. Alright, so can't close. Alright, so let's run the command again with the root, and let's see if it works. Alright, so it looks like we need to run the command with the administration's permission, and we can see that OpenWRTInvasion is being installed on the router. I'm sorry, on the Ubuntu machine. And now let's run the program. Let's see. Permission denial, because we need to run it with root. Alright, so 192.168.31.1, hit enter, and the router password, so it's 1234567 enter. Alright, so let's go with option 1, which is the default one, and it should now be running. Alright, so let's copy this one to establish the SSH connection to the router. Let's open a new terminal and then right click and paste the command, and yes, and then the root password is root, and perfect. Right now we are inside the Xiaomi router 4. So first of all, let's run cat props mtd, and let's check the flash partition or the flash layout. Alright, that's good. Let's go back to the guide, and at this step what we need to do is to download the kernel 1 and the root fs0. Okay, alright, so this is the kernel 1 and this is the root fs0. Just right click, copy link, and then on the router, let's go to cd tmp directory and run wget, right click to paste in and hit enter. Alright, not an HTTP or FTP URL. So let's give a try with HTTP and let's see if it works. Alright, so it seems like we can't use it with wget. Alright, let's clear them all and let's try with curl. So curl, and then right click to paste, and then dash output, and then we will put it kernel1.bin, hit enter. Failed to connect to this one, invalid argument. Alright, so I think it is something related to DNS or IPv6 problem. Now I'm going to download it to file to my PC, to my Ubuntu machine. Okay, and do the same for this one. Alright, so we have it ready right here. Let's just put it aside so that we can see. Right click, and I want a short name, so I'm going to change this one to root fs0 and this one to kernel1.bin. Alright, right click, opening terminals, and I'm going to start a simple HTTP server right here. Before I do that, I will run IPA to get the IP address. And right now my Ubuntu machine is having an IP address of 192.168.31.39. Okay, so now let's go with python 3-m http.server, and yes, it is running on port 8000. Okay, so let's go back to the Xiaomi router 4 SSH console right here, and I'm going to run curl http 192.168.31. 39 and then the ports is 8000, and then the first one will be the kernel 1.bin. I forgot to add the output, so let's run the command again, and then dash output equal to kernel 1.bin and hit enter, and perfect. So now let's run the command again, and this time it is going to be rootfs 0.bin and the output will be rootfs 0.bin and hit enter. So now we should have the two files on the router. Where it is? Let me see. Alright, so this one is kernel 1 right here, and then we have the root fs 0.bin. Okay, so let's back to the guide. So now we need to run mtd write name of your kernel and then kernel 1 and rootfs. Alright, perfect. Let's do that. So mtd write kernel 1.bin, and I'm going to write this kernel 1.bin to my kernel 1. Hit enter, and that's it. And let's do the same command for mtd write rootfs 0.bin, and I'm going to write it to the rootfs 0 and hit enter, and that's it. So right now we can reboot the router with the reboot command, and it is going to take some minutes for the router to up and running in OpenWRT 21. So let's go back to this one, and the last step we need to get this OpenWRT upgrade image and flash it via LuCI. So we have to do this after the router is up and running. So 192.168.1.1, and let's see if it's up. Let's go to a new terminal. Let's try to ping 192.168.1.1. Wire setting. Let's try to turn it off and then turn it on. And perfect, we have the response from 192.168.1.1. So let's go to the routers, advanced, accept the risk and continue, and hit enter to log in. And right now this is the Xiaomi router 4. So let's download this system upgrade file. Alright, what is going wrong? How can the file not found? There should be something wrong. Alright, so we're having some problem because my upstream router is also using 192.168.1.1, and the current router, this Xiaomi 4, is also running 192.168.1.1. So let's change the IP address to maybe .2.1, hit save, and then save and apply. Alright, 192.168.2.1 and hit enter. And let's wait for it. It looks like we need to turn on and off this connection. Okay, it's gone. Network. Let's turn it on. Refresh the page. Accept the risk and continues. And yes, the change has been applied. So let's log in. And now we should have a working internet connection. Alright, refresh the page, and let's download the OpenWRT's upgrade image. It is not found. Something is wrong, so let me delete this one. Alright, so it was Xiaomi Mi 4/system upgrade.bin, and someone already matched up the file. Alright, so this is the files, and I think somebody already matched up the file name. Let's see what they put. Alright, it should be 21.02.1 instead of .0. Okay, so we will need to check it later. But now, just wait for the download to complete it. And meanwhile, we can have a checks on the router. So we have right here Xiaomi Router 4, and we are running kernel 5.4.143 with 128 MB of RAM and 128 MB of flash storage. Alright, network and wireless, we have it up and running as usual with 802.11n AC and BNG. Okay, let's see if the file download is completed. Alright, perfect, it is completed. So now let's go to system, and then backup and flash firmware, select the image, browse, and then go to this one, select the system upgrade.bin file, hit open, offload, and alright, I don't need to keep any setting, so just proceed, continue. The website redirect us to 192.168.1.1, and it is an upstream router, so we don't need to care, just close it and wait for the process to finish. I assume the router is up and running, so let's verify by go to Firefox 192.168.1.1, and alright, so we should have some overlap. Let's try to ping the router, ping to 192.168.1.1, still no response. Let's verify that. Okay, why it is still .2.1, let's try to refresh. Connecting, connected, and perfect, we are in. So let's go. Alright, so we're running OpenWRT 21 on this Xiaomi Mi 4 router. Okay, so something is wrong. HTTPS, accept the risk and continue, log in. And now we have OpenWRT 21.02.1 permanently flash on the Xiaomi Router 4. So, first of all, let's have a quick check on the network interfaces. It looks good on the network wireless. Looks great as well. So let's go to systems and set up a root password because the system asks us to do. Alright, so let's see what else. So I think we can do a quick test right now. So let's make it establish the edit 8 connection to the router. Edit 8 root at 192.168.1.1, then yes, and then the root password. Okay, so let's run etc config network, and then let's go and change the IP address to maybe .3.1. So in order to edit the files, I press the I keys on the keyboard to switch to the insert mode, and then after I change the letter by the delete key, I insert a new one, and after that let's press the EXC key to go back to the command mode, press the colon, right click to right and quick hit enter, and then service network restart. So we can see that Linux or Ubuntu doesn't auto refresh the connection, so we need to manually turn it on and off. Accept the risk and continue, and this is going to be like that. Alright, so let me see, terminal, reset, no, close tab, close it. Let's open a new one. Edit age root 192.168.3.1. Yes. So this is the OpenSpeedTest server running on the one side. It is having an IP address of 192.168.1.157, and our router is 192.168.3.1, as you can see from the BLAN. So let's run the top command and let's proceed with the speed test. Currently, the shortware offloading is disabled on the OpenWRT routers, and as you can see, we have 576 Mbps download and 960 or 950 Mbps upload, with the CPU at 33% idle. I'm not sure if the result is accurate, so I will refresh and run it again. We are having the same download speed. It is running at 590 Mbps download, and it should be around 800 for upload. Alright, it's going up to 900. Let's go and enable shortware and hardware offloading and run the test again. Network, and then firewall. Enable, and then enable, and hit save and apply. Refresh the page and run again. And we can see that with hardware offloading, the router is handling gigabit Ethernet download with just 1 or 2% load of the CPU, and we can see that it is 99% idle. So right now I have yet to test SQM or PPOE, but I believe that it should be up and running well. So we can see that the Xiaomi Mi 4 routers with 128 MB of RAM and 128 MB of flash storage is a suitable solution if you want to run some application, for example at Home or Pi-hole on your OpenWRT router, and to serve maybe a small network. And right here, as you can see, we have some types of active connections, and right now we have the limit is 16,384, and actually we can modify, we can increase that limit, and I will put the link in the video descriptions if you want to know how to do that. So this is all about how to install the OpenWRT on the Xiaomi Router 4 with Ubuntu. And in order to install Ubuntu, you can install it on your virtual machine with VMware, or you can install it on your SPC. Any single board computer will work just fine, for example the Raspberry Pi 4, or you can use a physical machine like what I'm doing right now. And before we end the video, there's some note that the OpenWRT Invasion can run on Linux without Docker. But in this case, you will need to manually clone these repositories and then install the required package with pip trees, and you need to run this command manually, so it will take some time. So that's all for this videos, and I hope it will be useful for you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Thanks and have a nice day. Bye bye.